DeathsStalker here. So 2020 continues to suck. So if you remember the last time I did a video, I mentioned how I had some tooth pain and had to go see a dentist about getting a root canal. So I did, and I actually had to go see her ahead of time for a, sort of like a pre-appointment, where she told me that I was going to take an extra 45 minutes because the tooth was at the very back and it had to be frozen, and it's a hard tooth to get the freezing into. So I show up for the appointment, get all that, talking about stuff and whatnot, and she leaves. 45 minutes later, comes back and starts working on the stuff, and freezing's working great. Now the tooth actually has a bridge over it because I've got a it's like it's got a false tooth because I had a tooth that rotted out when I was really young, and I had that bridge put in there. Like, now we think it was probably almost like 30 years ago, and it's been pretty good, but apparently you get what's called leakage and stuff in there, and sometimes the teeth below actually tend to have problems. So the fix is to do the root canal. She actually has to drill right through the bridge, through the porcelain and the metal backing. And I've had it done before. There's no pain involved. It just smells terrible. And she got in there, and all I kept hearing was saying, "This isn't good. Oh, this is really bad." And of course, I can't say nothing because I've got my mouth open while she's got a bunch of tools in there working away at stuff. And eventually she says something, "Well, I can't do anything, so I'll have to send you back to your other doctor." And so then she puts a temporary filling in where the thing was, and turns out the bridge actually fell out, which was apparently turned out to be a good thing. But the sent me home. Of course, my whole face is all frozen. And ended up in the afternoon, I called my doctor about it, and I ended up having to talk to him because the receptionist was I was telling the receptionist and she was telling the doctor, then he'd ask her back, and it was like it was going back and forth. And finally, he says, "Well, I'll let you talk to him." So I got talking to him, and he needed me to come in, but I actually had to go down and drop the bridge off because he was going to do some work on the bridge before he tried to do whatever had to be done. And after I was talking to him for a couple minutes at the office, he said, "Oh, I think we got to pull the tooth," because all it was actually left there was the roots. Like, the upper part of the tooth was all gone, and 30 years of, you know, being covered by a bridge, there was nothing left. So I get that done, and then of course I get the thing is that they really have to do something to fix this, because that was sort of like my back three teeth, and they're all gone now. So I have to get an implant, and I've had an implant before. It cost about $2,500, I seem to recall, but apparently the price has gone up. It's like $4,500 now, and of course the company I used to work for doesn't cover it anymore. And it's like, great, I'm a retiree. So anyways, I'm just sort of waiting for my mouth to heal up, because it was the back tooth that was yanked. Like right now I can't open my mouth all the way like I normally could, because everything back there is still healing and whatnot. And then I got to get a assessment from the specialist who does implants and start that process. Now, the nice thing about implants is they don't rust or rot and all that sort of stuff, but there is issues that you have to have enough bone in your jaw to support the implant. So it's like just a continuation of 2020 sucking. And then to top it off, on the Friday after all this dental work, while I'm still sort of healing up, we have a propane fueled barbecue grill in our backyard, and the tank is almost empty. And my wife mentioned that we needed to change that tank, and I reminded her the other one was empty, so we had to go take it up and get it refilled. Not a big deal, because the place we used to go is closed, but there's a new place we found that actually is very good. Price is great, and I get the propane tanks filled, put them in the car, come home, and pull them out of the trunk of my car, and I'm walking both tanks out to my one drop one at the barbecue and put one out in the shed where it's supposed to be, and don't I hurt my back. It's like, oh, this is just not getting any better. So I ended up, luckily I had a chiropractor appointment scheduled for Monday, but I sorely needed that. My chiropractor, he basically said, like, he was sort of like asking, what did you do to your back? And turned out I actually had a vertebrae jammed. He had to do the equivalent of punching me in the back to loosen it up. So anyways, that was like just another week of my life. And of course, well, all this time when I'm waiting to go see the dentist because of this infected tooth and the root canal that didn't happen, and the tooth being pulled out, we had absolutely beautiful weather for motorcycle riding. We tend to call it Indian summer. Have no idea why. It's been that way forever. It's like when you get temperatures in the like the mid 60s, low 70s. It's like a, you know, a late summer day sort of thing. But of course the leaves are turning, and we had like 4 days of that. And because, you know, the full face helmet, I couldn't put it on my head because it was pushing against everything that was all disturbed and sore. So of course on the Sunday I go out to do my video for the MotoGP race, and it's like almost freezing out, and it's just, oh, just an absolute horrible day. Like, I just, you know, it was raining, so I didn't ride, and I just I did a voice over some old footage that I had that I didn't talk on. And the next day it was horrible. Now today it's not too bad, but we're supposed to get another 2 days of rain, so fingers crossed we got a few more days of riding coming up before it gets too horrible to ride. But again, all I gotta say is 2020 absolutely sucks this year. DeathsStalker signing off.